So on the Bucks deal, what does Walker have to do to get this done?
I think it would be impressive if there were a headline out there that says the governor cancels a trip to Iowa to make sure this deal gets done, because right now there's very much a feeling that all of these proposals are an afterthought, that the state is second on his mind, that his main focus is on whether he's had any missteps with the national media or anything like that. So I think he's got to be here, he's got to make his presence known, and he's got to make a commitment to this proposal.
So we had a question from a reader that's related to this, and obviously a supporter of the governor, and he says, hey, we never asked these questions about Tom Barrett when he was missing in action in the city of Milwaukee when he was running for governor. What's the difference here?
Between Barrett and, there were actually questions raised about Barrett on various deals, but it's still a dramatically different thing, because the interest of the state influences Milwaukee. With the governor, we've all noticed that there's these two tracks with the governor, that he's doing very well nationally for the most part, but here the voters have the voters have noticed that his absence, and his numbers have reflected that.
Mm-hmm. But realistically, you talked about this a little bit, but I'm going to push back a little bit on it. Realistically, it's the legislature's job to get this budget done. It's the governor's budget.
Whose budget is it? The governor proposes. They're the ones who tinker with the thing.
Okay.
And that it's been traditional that the governor stands up for his budget and he makes sure the major elements are in there. But week after week, what are the main headlines? It's this proposal by Walker has been ditched. Mm-hmm. This proposal by Walker has been ditched. In fact, there's an ad on TV running by a national group pointing out all of the things in his budget that the legislature has dropped. And on these things, as I said, there's no pushback. There's no pressure for them to make sure that they support all of the elements in his budget.
He's ultimately the one signing it after all, so.
And
I guess if I could jump in,
yeah, Jason, please.
I will say with Dan that there is no substitute in state politics for a governor sitting down with you across a table, across a desk, looking you in the eye and saying, Dave, I need you to do this for me. So again, I think he's been, he's certainly been engaged in many ways, but, for instance, when this thing happens over the weekend and in Canada, over the weekend and next week, if he's in Iowa and in Canada, there won't be face-to-face pressure.